Patients who go and see their doctor might soon find themselves with a prescription that they weren't expecting. Not for tablets or for medicine, but actually for a book.
Yes, a scheme which prescribes literature to those with mental health problems is already popular in Wales, now being launched in England.
Debbie Hicks is from the Reading Agency and Dr James Kingsland is a GP. They're here to talk to us about it. And morning, both. Unusual idea. Is this something that you would actually prescribe, reading a book?
Oh, absolutely. Well, yes, we're starting to look into providing a whole range of health and social care interventions in our community now. So this is just an extension of what we've been trying to do to integrate health, social care, third sector in the management of patients' health and well-being.
OK, just to be clear, are we talking about literature? We're not talking about information booklets or specific to a condition. Are we talking about literature? Someone comes in saying, you know, I don't know. Can you give us an example of somewhere where it might be appropriate?
Well, in the first instance, it is health information rather than novels or literature. For a long time, we've always tried to complement consultations with information leaflets. We know better information leads to better choices about health, better self-care. But this is an extension so that there's a longer time using our library service to support patients with mild to moderate mental health problems, anxiety, depressive illness, eating disorders, panic attacks, so that the 10 minutes with the general practitioner may not be enough to give them the information about their condition, how to improve self-care, and the idea of having an environment like a library and information through a longer period of time of reading about your condition and understanding it better.
Debbie, I know you're part of the organisation sort of behind this, the Reading Agency. Yes. What evidence is there that this works?
There's a lot
and that people go and read the books?
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence that reading can help promote well-being in a stressful world, and that's, you know, either through self-help reading and book-based therapy for anxiety and depression, but also there's an evidence base for the value of stress-busting creative reading, novels and poetry that take you out of yourself, take you off to another world. And, you know, the work that's been going on around books on prescription shows that the model works, and that actually lots of people prefer it to drug therapy because they're in control of it. It's about them helping them to understand and manage their conditions.
So there's a split there really between things that are to do with information and things that are to do with something slightly more unusual, which is the idea that this could be good for you in a much more general sense.
Absolutely, and you know, there's a lot of evidence to show that people use public libraries both as a trusted source of health information, but also as a place to go for recreational activities, for creative reading, to meet other people, and it's those social activities that actually have real well-being benefits.
So, can I just run something past you? Some doctors that I know say the internet, the information on the internet, for example, a patient can come in armed with terror about a condition because they've read, so, you know, they've gone on, they're going, oh my word, this is me, you know, they come in and place themselves in front of you and you basically have to backtrack. But is there a danger with information in books as well, that you might have a 10-minute chat with them and say, this is, you know, where you are, this is how you are, you give them a book and they'll suddenly go, oh, this is what happens later, this is where... Is that a worry? Almost too much knowledge can...
The first is the internet, which, you know, I do get consultations now with patients coming in with their 10 diagnoses from the internet, and it's an unregulated medium. This is a much more regulated and authorised process whereby our royal colleges are looking at the material and approving them, even linking with NICE, our National Institute of Clinical Excellence, so that we will be prescribing or advising about a range of books that have been formally approved. So as opposed to just you know, a patient going and...
I know you're dealing with this and you're trying to get the books into the libraries, all the rest of it. We know that libraries are closing. They're one of the things at the front line of council cuts. So you're going to say, go and get this book, and then somebody goes into the library, they can't get it. I mean, it sounds an extraordinary thing to do. If you prescribe it, you're not going to give them the books, are you?
Well, the Society of Chief Librarians have been working very carefully to identify what core areas of library service activity are and what people want from their local library. And the health offer and the reading offer, it is part of that core service. And so this is about actually all of us working together to deliver a service of a high quality that saves money because, you know, it's being managed centrally and delivered locally, but is actually giving community what they want from their library service. We know people like trust library advice in terms of books and reading, and so this scheme builds on that and delivers that in a community setting.
It's a very interesting idea. Thank you both for coming in this
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the books, all the books as well. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Lovely books on the list, actually.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
they're all reader recommended. And if anybody wants to recommend their own mood-boosting book...
Thank you very much.
I'm sure we will get people doing just that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Still to come this morning, 10 years ago, you hardly ever heard this.